Well, I'm on the phone as we are every Thursday and Monday with MDI head football coach Mark Shields. And Coach, we talked about on Monday that we were going to feature the offensive line because you guys have had some great rushing successes all season long. But first of all, let's pause for a second. It is, in fact, as you told me, your wife Holly's birthday. So go ahead.
Yeah, we probably should get this on tape now. Hoping that she'll listen to it. I might, hint around tonight that I did wish her a happy birthday. I will not divulge her age.
Oh, God, don't do that.
Let's just say it's 29 again and again.
Lord, you're in trouble.
Once again, I appreciate her support and love her very much. And I did remember, so that's important. I want to get credit for that. So.
All right, so just as someone who's been married now 27 years, that does not suffice for flowers and a gift.
No, oh gosh, no.
Okay,
no.
So
she did get up this morning, and she had some things on the kitchen table that I'd given her, and I think she was pleasantly surprised that I remembered.
It was a good thing the girls helped you remember.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we might be going out to dinner tonight. So
right.
She is one lucky girl.
Well, married to you. I mean,
that alone should be enough. Exactly. But I think maybe I should get her a few things besides. So.
All right. Good thing. Glad to hear it. All right. So happy birthday, Holly Shields. All right. How has the week gone? You've got a real tough game coming up against Madison down there. Haven't had much success down in Madison, playing down there in the past, and of course it's going to rain.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a little squishy down there. Watching the weather forecast today, it looks like maybe the rain will be gone by the time kickoff starts. I'm not sure, but the rain, it's going to rain in the afternoon, and it looks like a quick mover, but either way, I think the turf is going to be wet and the ball is going to be slippery. So you're right, that's a concern right there. We talked a lot this week about protecting the football, ball security, two hands on the ball. We want Madison to have the turnovers. We do not want them. And, yeah, you're right. I mean, we've only played Madison. This is our third year. They've been in our conference, and we're 1-1, and we beat them down here. The first year we played them a couple years ago, which was a real close game, won by one touchdown, I believe. Then we went down there last year and pretty much got our butts handed to us. They outplayed us on both sides of the ball and special teams. They were clearly the better team that night. We made a lot of mistakes, and I think, overall they probably were the better of the two teams. So we know going down there this Friday night that I keep telling the kids we're going into a hornet's nest for sure. A good football team like Madison, super fast, super athletic, well coached, on their field. We have to travel over 2 hours to get there. So all of that is in their favor for sure. So our preparation is key this week, and I feel like we've had a good week of practice. I feel like the team is getting healthier. I know Spencer Kashmar, he had an ankle injury against Winslow a few weeks ago, and he seems to be almost 100%. Dan McGregor, who was out a two-way starter last week against John Bapps, he's back. So I'm feeling like the team is getting healthier, which is good, especially considering we're moving into the latter part of the season. So we've had a great week of preparation, and we're excited for the challenge to go down there and play a real good football team against Madison.
I mean, this is one of those games that is really going to kind of define where you end up in the seedings in going into the playoffs. Right now, you're 4-1. You don't want to look ahead, but this is one of those key games that's going to determine whether MDI is going to finish 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And I told the kids on Monday that when you start having a successful season like we are, your next game is always the biggest game of the season, because you're right, everybody is jockeying for position for the playoffs, and Madison, they obviously want to move up in the rankings as well, and they need to get a win. And this is a huge week for them. I'm sure their coaching staff down there is saying, we need to beat MDI so we can solidify a spot. So you're absolutely right. they know it's important. We know it's important. I honestly think it's going to be a great high school football game to watch.
Yeah, I think it's probably the game of the week in Class C, and I would expect that they'll have a very large crowd. I'm not sure if it's homecoming down there for the or not, but it remembering going down last year, they always seem to have a good crowd down there.
Yeah, I mean, Madison has a lot of tradition. When you walk on their field, they have a lot of plaques just as you go into the entrance of all their, I think they have 3 or 4 state championships in the history of the program. People care about football down there.
Right.
People get excited about football. So I have to imagine, just like last year, there's going to be a big crowd to see the Trojans come to town.
All right, so let's now focus on the offensive line and give them a little bit of love. Tell us about the O-line.
Yep, for sure. These guys have done an incredible job for us this year. Real athletic group, guys that work super hard. They've worked super hard in the off season to get themselves stronger. They work hard every day in practice to make themselves better. Very unselfish group. When we score a touchdown, they feel like they scored a touchdown, and they should. I tell the kids, when we score a touchdown, all 11 guys on the field scored it, as well as all the guys on the bench that helped them prepare for the week to get better. So real proud of our offensive line. My tackles, I'll start with Micah Hallett. Micah's a sophomore. Micah is a two-way starter. He was a two-way starter last year as a freshman. I mean, this guy is a special kid for sure. His family is a football family. His older brothers played football for MDI, and just a kid that just keeps getting better every week, every game, and he's only a sophomore. So, I mean, this guy's just going to keep getting bigger and stronger and better. So he's been excellent for us. My other tackle, Jeffrey Hanscom. Jeffrey's a guy that honestly was on the bubble whether he was going to play this year. Wasn't sure if he would or not. He played a little bit for us last year, came out, decided to play, and he became a starter because he worked so hard. He just got better and better every week. We saw him on tapes. Like, we have to get this guy on the field, and Jeffrey's done a great job. We feel confident we can run behind both our tackles, and in our offense, that's really what we do a lot, is run behind those tackles, and we also ask those tackles to pull, and as in they're trapping, they're going down the line, they're going after linebackers, and a lot of offenses don't ask their tackles to do that, but our guys are so athletic that we do, and they've done a great job. And then my guards, Dan McGregor. Dan, once again, we're glad he's back this week. He was out against John Bapps. Super athletic kid, super tough kid, one of the toughest kids we have on the team. And as far as firing off the line, off the ball, when the ball is snapped, he's probably the best we have. He's at the second level immediately. He's so quick. He's the guy that he ended up losing, I don't know how many pounds. He probably lost 15 to 20 pounds, and he got more muscular, and he got quicker and more athletic because of it, and just a tough guy to stop. My other guard, Evan Janot, he's a captain for us. Evan, I mean, he's been a starter for me for the last 3 years. Great kid, super smart kid, tough kid. Once again, he pulls really well. We can trap real well with he and McGregor at guard, which that's really what we want to do with our offense. And he's just having another great year. And then the leader of our offensive line is Dylan Collin. Dylan, once again, he's a captain, great leader, super athletic guy, good speed, tough kid, and super smart. So when he comes up to the line of scrimmage with our offense, we see a lot of different defenses, and I honestly think against Madison we're going to see a lot of different defenses. So we've been repping against 3, 4, 5 different defenses this week, and he'll come up to the line and he can communicate to the other linemen, this is how we're going to block this play. And to have a leader like that on your line is just tremendous, because that just allows us to run, all of our offense, not just a few plays, because you got guys that know what they're doing. So, Dylan Collin, just a great center for us. So I'm real proud of those guys, and I know they're going to do well again Friday night against Madison.
These guys have broken out some huge holes for Croy and Tanner to really, gain some big yardage.
Yeah, and part of that also, I'll give a shout out to my tight ends, Graham Good and Isaiah Keene. Isaiah being a senior captain, and Graham, he's a junior, and he's been starting for the last 2 years. A lot of those big plays, the way those happen is when those ends get downfield and they get on the safety or they get on the cornerbacks to allow that back to make a cut 10 or 15 yards downfield to make that big play. So all of our linemen have been doing that. You see on tape that those big runs, and you'll see 4 or 5 guys, they're not far from the ball carrier. So that's just huge for us. So that's something that we work on real hard in practice, and the kids take a lot of pride in that. So that's been big for us.
One of the things is Tanner was the 92.9 WEZQ McDonald's Player of the Week. So the voting ended this morning, and he won that award. So I'll be bringing down a plaque or a certificate next week to drop off down there. So, I mean, that's a nice little honor. That's all fan voting, and I know that there was spirited voting coming from the island.
Yeah, that's great. I did not know that. I'm happy for Tanner. He's having a great year for us, and he's working hard, and he's had a great attitude, and it's well deserved on his part. And once again, that's credit to that offensive line for opening up those holes for him.
What do you want to say? I mean, it's game time coming right up. What do you want to say to all the fans? It's nice that we're going to be back on the regular radio, and we certainly appreciate everyone who's listened on WDEA Internet Radio. But now that the Red Sox are mercifully put to sleep for the year, we'll be back on AM 1370.
Yeah, once again, thank you for your continued support of MDI football. We had a huge crowd out for the John Bapps game, and I know Madison's a long ride. It's going to be cold and wet, but if you can get down there, I think if you do get down there, it's going to be a great game to watch. 2 really quality programs going at it. If not, hopefully you can get back for our homecoming the following Friday against Oceanside. Once again, another tough football team. They're big, strong, and fast, so I think that's going to be another good game. So thank you once again, and go Trojans.
All right, Coach. Thanks, and good luck, and I'll see you down in Madison on Friday night, and happy birthday again once again to your wife. Go ahead, say it one more time.
Happy birthday, Holly Shields.
Excellent.
And we'll leave out her age.
Good thing. All right, Coach. Have a good day.
All right, thanks, Gus.
Bye.
All right, thanks, Gus.